Hi, this is Dr. Parikh. Welcome to PS 213, Writing in Psychology. I'm really excited to have you here. My background is in counseling psychology. That's what my PhD is in. My research I do on grief and loss, especially with college students, looking at death losses, at how friends support each other, also looking at things like international students during crisis. One of my interest areas that I'd like to get into is how memorial tattoos are part of the grieving process and help people make meaning and make memories as they grieve. I have been with Caldwell University since fall of 2015, and during my time here, I taught a lot of Gen Psych 2 my first few years, and I really enjoyed developing the paper project, which has changed a little bit. That used to be the class where we taught writing, and we as a department decided that we really value writing and we wanted to dedicate a whole class to it. And so this has become one of my sort of babies. I really enjoy teaching writing. I see it as a very creative process, even though academic writing is very different from creative writing, and we'll talk about that as we go. But I still think you're making something that no one else has made before, that's in the world because you put it there. And I love being part of that process with students. I love watching the ideas go, and I love meeting with students to talk about the papers that they're writing on. So even though this is an online class, you're welcome to come to office hours. I love doing virtual meetings too, and I have some great software that lets me share my screen so we can actually look at the same documents together. And, I can certainly meet with you either way. Meeting with students is really one of my favorite things about my job. I have a lot of videos that walk you through the course. So I have some that specifically show you Blackboard, some that go through the syllabus. This course is intense in that there's a lot of assignments. There's a lot of things to track. Blackboard is great, but I don't recommend relying on Blackboard to track all of the assignments. There's some to-do lists that I recommend. I love using electronic things. I read everything on my Kindle except for classroom books. But I think there's a time and a place to print things out and do things on paper. And for me, at least, it would be the to-do list for this class. Or you could save the document and delete things as you do them. However you want to manage, make sure that you figure out a system for managing the work in the course. I also highly recommend scheduling time every week. Don't just assume you're going to fit it around everything. This class can take up to 20 hours a week because it's only 7 weeks long. So schedule time to work on assignments from this class. Actually just schedule it like your other classes. Also, don't be too intimidated though, because there's a lot of assignments, but if you look at what they are, many of them are teeny tiny little pieces. You're going to write a paper in a different way than you've ever written a paper before. It's a lot of small steps, and it's a lot of small steps in part because I don't get to be in the classroom with you, and so I want to be able to give you feedback at every step, even though I don't get to have a writing lab day where everybody just brings their work in and meets with me. And so you get feedback several times along the way on each piece of your paper. You write... For this class, you're going to write one big paper. It's kind of two papers because it starts off as one type of paper and then you transform it into something else. But it's easy. I think it's most reasonable to think of it as one big paper. There are no tests. The only quizzes in this course are APA quizzes that you get to take as many times as you want and look at the right answers for. I expect everyone to do well on them. Please do well. It breaks my heart a little when you don't. And the reading for this course is manageable. I mean, there are things to read, but it's not a giant textbook. And so even though there's a lot of assignments, keep in mind the assignments are the course. It's unfortunate that you're not in with other people. That's the trade-off with online courses, but you'll do a lot of discussions. And instead of having the whole class, you'll have about 5 or 6 people in your group that you'll get to know really well, and you'll get a lot of feedback from them, and you'll learn a lot from seeing their work. I'll be with you every step of the way with these videos, and if you need me, just reach out. Thanks. Bye.